Welcome back to the news at 10. Crossing over to Abuja, here's Ivy Clem. Ivy.
Hello, Ijoma. The ruling All Progressives Congress has postponed its national convention indefinitely. The party, in a statement released by its publicity secretary, Malam Bolaji Badulahi, on January the 18th, 2017, after a National Working Committee meeting, had announced that the convention would hold this month. The reason for the postponement of the convention is said to be due to the inability of the party's National Executive Committee to hold its meeting, which, according to the structure of the party, should naturally hold before a convention. The APC spokesperson told Channels Television that the logistics of the whole arrangement has been stalled, and he has stopped the much-needed meeting of the party's topmost organ to decide on crucial issues like filling the vacancies which emerged due to political appointments, deaths and resignations. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it will soon commence a nationwide continuous voters registration ahead of the 2019 general elections. The INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, stated this at the meeting with national commissioners at the commission's headquarters in Abuja. According to him, the exercise will enable citizens who have reached 18 years since the last general elections to register for voting ahead of the 2019 general elections.
In the exercise we shall soon commence, citizens who have reached the age of 18 years, those who did not register before the last general elections, those who wish to transfer or relocate from one state to another, or within a state from one town to another, or those who did not collect their PVCs before the last general election will have the opportunity to do so. The effective take-off date for the continuous voter registration exercise will be announced at the end of today's meeting. Once we take off, the exercise shall be continuous at local government level until a few months to the 2019 general elections. This means that from now going forward, citizens will be registered as a matter of routine rather than tying voter registration to elections. Later, the Commission will now scale down the registration to ward and polling unit levels.
The Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, has asked Nigerians to always respect the rights of the weak, the vulnerable and minorities for peaceful coexistence. Sanusi spoke when he paid a visit to Ile-Ife in Osun State, where Hausa and Yoruba communities recently had a clash leading to destruction of lives and property. The Emir of Kano had earlier paid a visit to the Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, before the duo proceeded to Sabo to address the Hausa community.
We all have this responsibility for ensuring that every Nigerian is safe everywhere. As a representative of this institution, we are extremely happy with the performance and with the role played. We thank you for the manner you handled this difficult situation. And I thank you for your kindness. I thank you for your friendship. I thank you for your brotherhood. I thank you for your welcome. I pray to Allah to guide us all and protect us, to give us the strength to continue to stand by the truth and by the interest of our people.
We should all come together and work towards how to better the lot of our youth. We have so many of them. It's important for us to look at 7 out of 10 Nigerians, how to better their lot. We don't pray for such a very unpleasant occurrence again. We are all working together. I had several conversations with Sultan of Sokoto and other emirs in the north, for all of us to be on the same page and support peaceful coexistence in this country.
That's all from Abuja. Back to you, Ijoma.
Right, thanks a lot, Ivy. Residents of Isuzu local government area of Enugu State have called on the federal government to rehabilitate the federal bridge in the community. The bridge, which is said to have collapsed after the Nigerian civil war, has taken a toll on the community, and communal efforts have been brought up to restore it. Our community report tonight looks at the plight of the people.
Etisola, now you're talking.
A typical market day in the Mufu community in Isuzu local government area of Enugu State is filled with farmers, traders and buyers converging to haggle over vegetable, yam, palm oil and grains. Those who deal in charcoal are also here. These activities indicate that all is well with the agro-business in this community. Where they have problems is in the transporting of the produce. First is the road, which residents say, if rehabilitated, will help revive their businesses and save lives.
But because of this road, no vehicle to carry it. Even if they try to come, they will price the goods very low and take it outside. So the farmers are suffering. The business people are suffering. We cannot get work in the city. We cannot get work here because of this road. Like now, I'm a graduate, but I have not been working for more than 20 years now. This is pure water I'm going to sell to feed my children.
Then there is this bridge, a connection to other communities, which is something of a nightmare. Said to have collapsed sometime in the early 70s, the bridge has been a source of headache for the residents. This man speaks on the efforts made to rehabilitate the bridge.
The bridge was covered with wood. I know exactly what we have. As a small boy, I've worked severally as a laborer here. So I had to change the system and then bring in some experts that changed this bridge and covered it with checker plate. This is what we have been managing, and on different occasions I keep repairing it so that our people can come in and then go out.
Although the people understand the risk this bridge poses, getting their wares across is more important. It is not a pleasant experience to be caught in traffic on this bridge, as everyone wants to make it across at the same time. And it becomes worse if a vehicle breaks down. Who is meant to be responsible for getting this bridge rehabilitated?
It is important to mention that that is a federal road. You know, it's supposed to be a federal project. And I think the first thing I would do, since you have mentioned it to me, is to bring it to the knowledge of the Federal Minister of Works. We relate, we discuss issues that have been interviewed on this particular project, and they need to do something. Their response will now determine the next step we can now take.
This matter has been left unattended to by the authorities for such a long time that the people may have lost hope in the answer coming anytime soon. So what they have resigned to do is to keep crossing, hoping that the bridge will not collapse underneath them.
Etisola, now you're talking.
All right, moving swiftly on to business. Here's Emana Hamawe.
You first. First Bank.
Many thanks for staying with us. Welcome to Business News. Well, here's some good news coming from the World Bank. The latest report from the Bretton Woods Institution says Nigeria is among two other major economies in sub-Saharan Africa to see a rebound from the worst decline in more than 2 decades in 2016. According to its biannual publication, the region is showing signs of recovery, while regional growth is projected to reach 2.6% in 2017. The country's closest rivals in the continent, South Africa and Angola, are rebounding from the sharp slowdown witnessed last year, albeit slowly due to insufficient adjustments to low commodity prices and policy uncertainty. 7 countries within the region, Côte d'Ivoire, Ethiopia, Kenya, Mali, Rwanda, Senegal and Tanzania,
have continued to exhibit economic resilience, posting annual growth rates above 5.4% between 2015 and 2017. Though the improvements noticed in the global financial system in the past 6 months are encouraging, new risks from the United States, Europe and emerging markets are the key focus of the new report released by the International Financial System. The IMF team, led by the head of Monetary and Capital Markets Development, Tobias Adrian, told journalists in Washington that there is urgent need to get the policy mix right, especially in the developed economies. The IMF officials weigh in on the new political landscape in the United States, the European banking system, and concerns over China's rapidly increasing credit growth.
In an integrated world, what happens in advanced economies has repercussions for emerging markets. We all remember the taper tantrum in 2013 when interest rates rose sharply and emerging markets suffered badly. Is this time different? With the right policy mix, it can be. Global growth could strengthen and deflation risks could continue to fade. This would benefit emerging markets and advanced economies alike, even as interest rates and monetary policies normalize. And so far, we have been on this good path. But emerging market economies could face trying times. In fact, political and policy uncertainty in advanced economies opens new channels for negative spillovers. A sudden reversal of market sentiment could reignite capital outflows and hurt growth prospects, as could a global shift toward protectionism.
At the local stock exchange, demand for banking and consumer goods stocks pushed the main broad index up by nearly 0.5% today as investors digest more first quarter earnings released on the NSE. Harriet Agbeyi tells us more.
Nigerian stock market rebounded from Tuesday's sharp decline by 49 basis points today on the back of price recovery by some key equities. Investors also took advantage of the previous price declines to trade a higher volume of 322.29 million shares worth over 1.52 billion naira in 2,906 deals. Market breadth was positive as there were 15 gainers led by Transcorp, FBN Holdings and Diamond Bank. Down almost 9.3%, Honeywell Flour leads Okomu Oil, Livestock Feeds and 10 other decliners recorded at the end of midweek trade. With 90 million shares exchanged by investors, Law Union and Rock was the most active, followed by Diamond Bank and Zenith Bank. Those are the day's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbeyi.
U.S. stock markets opened higher earlier today on the strength in the financials as big banks report better than expected trading revenues. With more details from the Nasdaq market site in New York is VOA Channels TV business correspondent Jill Malandrino.
U.S. stocks opened higher Wednesday morning following a rebound in Europe as markets were led higher on positive sales data in Europe and commodity producers rebounding with metal prices. Now, this is despite shares of Dow component IBM falling around 4% on the overnight after another revenue miss. Today's another busy day of earnings highlighted by results from Morgan Stanley, Textron, U.S. Bank, Abbott, and TD Ameritrade. Financials got a boost by Morgan Stanley as it reported a 74% jump in quarterly profit, topping analyst estimates as revenue from bond trading nearly doubled following interest rate hikes by the Federal Reserve. The bank also hit a key milestone by achieving a 10.7% return on equity, and that's a measure of the firm's profitability. Its CEO had set a target in January for 9% to about 11% ROE by the end of this year. Morgan Stanley's trading results were in line with Wall Street banks, with the exception of chief rival Goldman Sachs, which was the only bank to drop in revenue for this quarter. The big news out of NASDAQ this morning is we are launching a new venture investment program called NASDAQ Ventures. Minority stake investments made by NASDAQ Ventures are expected to range from less than $1 million to approximately $10 million. And that's your news coming out of the States this Wednesday afternoon. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter for VOA Channel's Business News.
And it's a mixed close for leading global stock markets today as European banks recovered from a 6-day losing streak, while IBM and oil prices pushed the Dow Jones and Asian markets lower. Let's see the figures. And that's Business News tonight. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Emana Amawe. It's back to you, Ijoma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks, Emana. Still ahead on the news at 10, Serena Williams looks set for a spell out of tennis after she announced she's 20 weeks pregnant on social media. That's on sports. Stay with us.